Hello students. Today we shall study about one act play. I'm sure you have heard this term before. Let us get to know what is one act play and what are the various features of such kind of a play. Now, one act play is a complete story that has to be performed on the stage in stipulated time. What is the meaning of stipulated? Stipulated means a specific given time. So you cannot go on for minutes or hours performing the one act play. They have a certain limitation, and within that time limitation, you have to finish your play. You have to complete your story on the stage. Now, it has its own features and characteristics. So, apart from the other drama that we know about, one act play has different features and different characteristics. The action is confined to a single place. Like we know that in drama, there might be different places where the incidences take place throughout the drama. But in one act play, you have just one single place and the entire action takes place in that location or in that area. Again, number of characters is also limited. Okay, you cannot have too many or very less characters. They have a particular number of limitation of characters. That many characters only you can uh, use in one act play. Also, they have simplicity of design and quick effects, which are some of its more functions or features. Okay, now let us get to know a little more about each of the features of one act play. The first one is plot. Yes, we have seen this feature in drama as well. Drama also has a plot, but similarly, one act play also has a plot. Now, what is a plot? Plot is a story that has been woven into a closely related chain of events arranged in sequences. So you have one event followed by the other event, and then you have the other event. So all these events make up the story, okay? And these events are arranged in sequence, okay? Proper sequence. Like this happens, and then that happens, and then that. You cannot just jumble up the events because then the story will not be conveyed properly, okay? So plot is what it is, a story which is woven into by chain of events which are arranged in sequences. Now, the plot of one act play is limited to a single interesting episode. So, there is just one episode in one act play. You do not have several episodes like you have in the normal drama. Now, here we usually have conflict. Now, what is conflict? Aristotle says conflict is the soul of drama. So, modern plays or dramas of the theater of absurd are an exception. Now, theater of absurd are some different types of plays where you do not have conflict. Okay, but they say that in every drama or in every one act play or in every play, you have a conflict which is then later resolved through the various actions by the characters in the play. The next is theme. Now, what is theme? Theme is a central idea around which the plot revolves. So, suppose the theme of a particular play is romance, or theme of a particular play is friendship, or theme of particular play is education. Then the entire plot will revolve around that particular theme. Okay, it will consist of a story which gives you the theme of theme that is assigned to that particular play. Okay, so it is directly stated through the playwright's instructions, dialogues, and other features. So the person who is writing the play, that person gives the instruction to the actors, the dialogues which are written, and other features. They all are the ones which will convey the particular theme of the play. It focuses on the subject of the play and it can be implicit and explicit. Now, what is implicit? Implicit means not directly expressed, and explicit means directly or clearly expressed. So, sometimes the theme in the play will be directly expressed, or sometimes the theme will be indirectly expressed. But yes, you will get to know what the theme of the play is. Then apart from that, you have number of sub themes that portray human life. So you will not just get one particular idea after you see a particular play. There will be various things that you might notice or you might learn or you might take with you at the end of the play. It helps to convey the message of the playwright. So this theme will tell you what the playwright had in his mind while he was writing this particular play, the message that he wanted to convey. Like we know that in the previous video where we have seen that GB Shaw, who says that he should convey his plays should be vehicle for ideas. So similarly, here also the playwright has certain ideas in his mind, and he wants to convey that to the viewers, the audience, and that happens through the theme of the play. The next is setting. Now, what is setting? Setting or location is the play where the story takes place. Does the story take place in a farm? Does the story take place in a village? Does the story take place in a city? Does the story take place in a school? So, where the story is taking place, that is known as the setting or the location. Now, it is revealed through effective use of a variety of props. Now, how do you know that it is a village? You will see, huts, or you will see people wearing not very rich clothes, or you will see people doing some kind of like women doing household activities, or men working on the farm, or doing some kind of small businesses, or small scale industries having them around. So all such kind of setting or props will tell you that the story is taking place in a village. Then if the story is taking place in a school, then you'll have a school building, you'll have a classroom set up over there, you'll have students the characters dressed in uniforms, and teachers around. So yes, these are all things, which small things which are used in order to make the setup, is known as the props. Okay, so these props will tell you what kind of setting it is. Then there is unity of time, place, and action which has to be taken into consideration while setting the stage. Like which time you're talking about, okay, which is the period that you're talking about, and which place you're talking about, and the action that will be followed in that particular area. Okay, so all those things are to be taken into consideration when you set the stage, whether the situation, whether the play is happening in India, whether the play is happening in London, whether the play is happening somewhere else. So, depending on the place where the play is happening, you have to arrange the setting or the location of the play. Then, proper use of setting props helps the play to be impactful. Now, suppose a particular play is taking place, maybe in a village in India. Then you cannot show or use the props which will show the village in Europe. Okay, because they have different dressing manner, they have different behavior pattern, and all of these things vary. So you have to use proper setting and proper props. Just because you have those props with you, you cannot just use them. It depends on what is the idea of your play, the time, like as I said, the time, the place, and the action. All these things need to be taken into consideration when you set up the stage for the play. Next is language. Now, as we say, pen is mightier than the sword. Likewise, words are the weapons of a writer. A writer can, make things, or he can break things with the words that he uses. Okay, not only him, but also we in our real life, what kind of words we use when we speak to each other, those words determine our relation with the people around us. If we use harsh words, then we'll have some kind of bitter relation with people around. If we use good words, kind words, then we'll have good relations with people. So similarly, words are so powerful, and they are said to be the weapon of a writer, because a writer can create a huge impact with the words that he uses. Now, not only words are not only important, but there are also ways to communicate in another way, like non-verbal communication, which we are very familiar about. This character, that is Charlie Chaplin. Now, Charlie Chaplin doesn't speak in any of his movies. Have you ever seen Charlie Chaplin speaking in his movies? No, he doesn't. But how does he communicate then? Now we might, you might think that, miss, to communicate we need words, we need to tell the other person how we feel. Not necessary. Always communication need not be verbal. It can even be non-verbal, like Charlie Chaplin does. Okay, so through his expressions, through his body language, we get to know what he's trying to tell us. So, language helps us to convey emotions and underlying meanings profoundly. When you use language, the powerful tool of language, the words that we have, now this particular weapon that we have of words, it helps us to express our emotions, to convey our emotions to each other, and also to tell the meaning of particular actions to the person in front of us. Okay, so now, one act play, it has a profound effect because of its brevity of works. Now, what is brevity of works? Brevity of works means concise and exact use of words. So, because one act plays are not very long, or they're not, very much, do not have a lot of duration as such. So, you have to use the minimum number of words. At the same time, you have to, convey the message in a very apt manner. You cannot just use less words and leave your play incomplete. Okay, so brevity of words means you use the exact words wherever it is necessary, in spite of just running around the bush with lot of words and lot of dialogues. Okay, now if the dialogues are witty, witty means, very quick in speech or verbal humor, or they are pungent, pungent means they are sharp, okay, or to the point, and they're concise, which means they will have a lot of information but in few words, expressed in few words. So all these kinds of characteristics, if you have in a one act play, then they will add to the overall impact of the play. Okay, like for example, Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Okay, he says in that play, to be or not to be. Now, this much is enough for the audience to understand what Shakespeare is trying to say. Now, the dialogues of the playwright use various techniques like projection. Okay, projection means you present an image of a particular person or a particular event. Or articulation. What is articulation? Articulation means you form, or you the formation of clear and indistinct sounds in speech. So you use proper ups and downs when you speak, okay, in your tone of your speech. So proper articulation and phrasing for effective communication. So you have to use all these tools when you tools and techniques when you are communicating in a one act play. Also, poetic devices like figure of speech, okay, or you have a figure of speech like imagery, symbolism. Imagery means where you use, a particular image, to convey a particular idea, or symbolism, that is use of symbols to represent your idea. So all these kind of things can be used in your dialogues in the one act play in order to make it effective. Okay, then the tone of the dialogues also can be different. Some of the dialogues might be comic, some of them will be ironic, some of them will be light, playful, sad, serious, sinister. What is the meaning of sinister? It gives the impression that something harmful is going to happen. So such kind of dialogues. Then solemn, there is formal dialogues. And sombre, that is dull in tone dialogues. And threatening. So all the types of dialogues can be used in the one act play, depending on the necessity of them, okay, of the dialogues and the characters and the story. All right. The next element of one act play is characters. Now, again, as I said, in one act play, you have limited number of characters. Okay, so with those few characters, you have to portray the entire story. Now, in a play, there are two types of characters. One is main character, and the other one is supporting character. Now, E.M. Foster's, he has divided characters into two types. That is round character and flat character. Now, what does round character mean? Round character means a particular character in the play that develops through the experiences and evolves as a dynamic persona. Okay, so throughout the play, you see that the image of this character, of this particular character, began in a particular manner, and by the end of the play, it has completely evolved. Okay, so such kind of character is known as the round character. Then there is flat character. Now, what is flat character? Character who remains the same throughout the story, like from the beginning of the play till the end of the play, the character will remain same. Okay, there will not be any such change in the behavior or the acting or the characteristic of this particular character. So those characters are known as flat characters. They're also known as caricatures. What are they known as? Caricatures. They are also recognized only through one characteristic. So throughout the character, they will throughout the play there will be just one characteristic behavior of that particular character. Now the story revolves around the main character, of course we know that, or characters who face a dilemma or conflict. So we know that every story has a main character, like we say in Foster's language, round character, and there will be few flat characters as well. And with the help of these two characters, you can then develop your play. Some more features of one act play are there will be only one or more scenes. Some plays like that. Okay, they are concise in manner. Okay, they're very short. Then they have a single dominant theme which produces singular effect. Then they treat problems of everyday life, so such are known as one act play. Then they have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, and there are also some other stages to the play, like there is exposition, there is conflict, there is climax, and there is denouement. And then giving introduction of stage direction takes place in one act play. It creates mood or atmosphere for the audience. It has, again, like we discussed before, it has unity of time, place, and action. Then the plot is quite simple. It concentrates on action and unity of impression. It has, again, limited characters, like we said, and it presents a question, answers of which are eagerly awaited by the audience. Okay, so such kind of, like, our real life issues, the daily issues that have to be addressed, the problems of everyday life. So such kind of themes are chosen in one act play. Okay, so my dear students, now I hope you must be wondering that why do we have this in our syllabus. This kind of chapter in your syllabus will help you to use the features of drama to express feelings and ideas. Sometimes we find it so difficult, like we want to say a particular thing but we do not know how to say it. So with the help of this chapter, you will be able to express your feelings and ideas in a particular manner. It also, with the help of this drama or the one act play, you can try to produce given content in your own language. Okay, sometimes you can even go out of your way, become imaginative, and add your own beginnings or ends to the play by using features obtained from the given one act play. Now, this chapter will help us to create citizens who have linguistic proficiency. That is, you have a command over your language. And the study, as well as it will help you to explore richness of language by studying the genre in detail. That is, drama as a genre. If you study it in detail, you will see how beautiful linguistic is, or the literature is, and the variety of things that you will come across when you start studying it in detail. Okay, so I hope you have already out of curiosity gone through the entire chapter for once. But if you haven't, please take your textbook today itself and start reading your lesson on page 128 up till page 136, and you will I hope you will understand all the various things that we have discussed throughout the three videos of history of English drama, and this one video of one act play. Okay, so please do read up everything and try to solve the exercise or the objective test which is given on page number 137, and see if you have really understood what the history of drama was all about and what is one act play. Until next time, thank you and have a nice day.